Good afternoon,
Fantastic.
everyone. Good afternoon, everyone, and Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Ali, and I'm the Business Development Manager at Emerging Visions. We are really excited to bring you Oxford Sixth Form College today. I have with me Ms. Cardi Bamfoot. She's the Associate Regional Sales Director at North Anglia Group, and Hamish Davies, who is the Senior Regional Admission Manager. So without wasting any time, I'm going to hand over to Hamish, who is going to talk about courses, the options, the facilities at the Oxford Sixth College. Over to you, Hamish.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ali. Assalamu alaikum to everyone here on the call. It's a real privilege to be presenting to each of you about Oxford Sixth Form. As Ali mentioned, great work by the team in Pakistan. And if you have any questions during this presentation, please do put them in the chat and we'll endeavour to answer those as we go between myself and Carly. And of course, if you need to contact us, you can contact Emerging Visions, Ali and the team for any follow-up that you might have. We're going to focus on a number of our programs, A-levels, pre-A-levels, and talk about the flexibility of these programs that we offer at our Oxford campus for Oxford Sixth Form. There's a range of options depending on what you need, and we'll talk about these in more detail as we go through. The first program is a 5-term A-level program. This is starting in January 2024. This is our next core program that we'll be offering. And if you're interested in joining us for A-levels, you can join in January next year in 2024. You'll complete this program in June of 2025, which makes this a 5-term A-level program. It's a dedicated intensive program. It is a little bit shorter than our standard 2-year program, and it is separate from the 2-year A-level classes, which gives students a very focused experience, given that they are working to a different timeline to complete that A-levels course. And so we're not putting you in the same class as the 2-year program students and expecting you to work harder and faster. We're giving you dedicated support that allows for you to complete that course in a shorter 5-term period. The key benefits really to joining this 5-term program is that you don't need to wait until next September 2024 to join a course. If you're ready now, you can apply and join in January and start the program sooner. Flexibility is a big part of what we do at Oxford Sixth Form College, and that the combination of subjects that you have for this A-level program is very flexible for each individual that joins. As I mentioned, dedicated classes specifically for this 5-term A-level program starting in January, and there's a great deal of English language support that is rolled into that program alongside the academic offering. A really big point that I'll probably raise a few times on this call is the small class sizes. It's a maximum of 8 for this particular program, and really all of our programs have a maximum of 10 students, which gives students a great deal of individual support. And we have a range of academic skill levels that join us because of this reason, not just because they need academic support, but because they enjoy being in a small class and they like that personal one-to-one experience. You can see on the side here our subject combinations, a range of different options, and there are other subjects and combinations that may be available on a case-by-case basis. So absolutely get in touch with us if you've got an interest in particular subjects, and we can discuss those and the combination of those as well. To give you an idea of the performance of our students, as I mentioned, we have a range of academic experiences coming into the college, and you can see here at the top, universities, G5 and Oxbridge are making an appearance. Universities in Australia, top universities such as University of Melbourne, and all across the world. Of course, many of our students do stay in the UK. They're coming to do A-levels with us in Oxford, and many go on to UK universities, but they're coming from a range of different nationalities. And you can see here, we've got students who perform with BCC, ABCs, right up through to completing 4 A levels. We have a student here from Thailand who achieved 3 A stars and an A. So an absolutely incredible achievement for a range of our cohort and the academic ability that they have. 54% of our students who sat 3 A-level subjects received A star or A grade in 2023. Progress at A level. This is a really important point that is worth understanding, and I'm going to attempt to explain this to you now, but we can certainly go over this again at the end of the presentation. Essentially, what we're discussing here is the difference between where a student starts with us and where they end up with their academic performance. And if you think of an individual, regardless of the level that they join us at, whether they're already a bright academic student or they need extra support, that level that they join us at, based on their previous grades, their stage 4 GCSE grades, which is the years before A levels, and the increase in their academic performance when they finish with us at A levels, whether it's the 5-term that I've discussed or the 2-year program, that change or that difference in their performance is graded in the UK, and it's compared across, as you can see here, very, very small print, 4,404 schools. The performance of the Oxford Sixth Form in being able to take students from their initial level to the level that they're at when they finish puts us in the top 1% of performing schools across the UK. We are experts at bringing students from their starting level up to an incredibly high level relative to their academic ability. Okay, so we're able to take any level of student, whether you need extra support and extra help and you're not that strong as an academic student, or if you are already very strong and you just need further push and you're shooting for the stars and you want to get into Oxford or Cambridge, we are able to essentially get you to that point, regardless of where you start. The other program that I mentioned at the start is called our pre-A-level program, And this is specifically aimed at international students, a dedicated international student program that is looking at not only the academic foundation, if you like. I use that word sparingly. It's not a foundation course, but it is giving you a foundation that you can move into A-levels or BTEC program, alongside essentially an intensive English focus. And we accept students into this program with a lower IELTS. You can see on the screen at the bottom here, IELTS of 4.5. And this does give students a great deal of opportunity if they're coming with a weaker level of English and they want to focus on that alongside their academic foundation subjects for transition into A-levels or BTEC. It takes up to 1 year, and a really important point here is that the start date, any point in the academic year. The maximum class size, again, 8 average, maximum of 10. This is a really key part of what we do at Oxford Sixth Form. The entry requirements, successful completion of year 10. You can see on the right here, a range of subjects similar to those that you would be aiming for in A-levels as well. Let's talk about the college. You probably understood from my simplistic point about the value add that we are looking at the individual's goals and aiming to support and push and motivate them and give them the foundation they require to move from the level they're at to achieve the personal academic goals, the career goals they have, the aspirations that they have. And we do this with small class sizes, which allow us to be very inclusive and really give expert teaching and motivate and mentor students in a really dynamic way. It is on an individual level, and it's a very exciting experience to be on campus and see that in that environment, which is quite unique, all of the teachers and the students are connected on a first name basis, and they're very aware of the experience and the goals and the plans that each of the students have. We do this through personalized support, and I'll talk a little bit about student tutors in the future, in the next few slides, but they are the single center point for students and a single point of contact for all communication, regardless of what students need. This is a very important man on our campus, and I'm sure you will engage with him throughout the process of application, but certainly when you reach campus. He's something of a famous individual in the industry, but also in the region, in Pakistan and other parts of South Asia. And he is Mark Love. He has a huge amount of experience, 30 years in education, and he has been our principal since 2017. His career focus, and this is the key point here for us, is that he's been focusing on non-selective sixth form colleges. The reason why that's important, and I want to make that point, is that we are looking for to provide an option for a range of different students. As I mentioned, whether they're already very strong academic students or you need extra support and you need a custom program that allows you to choose the subjects you want to choose that align to your goals and your career aspirations. Pastoral care. I mentioned the senior tutors already. This diagram gives you an indication of where the senior tutors sit for the students. They are a one-stop contact for each of our students, and the small class sizes and the small numbers of students that each senior tutor takes care of allows for that individual support when it's necessary and when the students require it. It is one sole channel of communication. It is academic and pastoral support. It's help for university applications, which is, a core reason as to why you're coming to do A-levels at the UK. And it's also about monitoring behavior and attendance, in the sense that, as a student, there are so many things to take care of and think of in a new country, away from family and friends. It's sometimes nice when someone can flag and understand that perhaps you need extra help, and it may not be academic. It may be in other areas. And this person is your friend, your mentor, and your one-stop for any support that you might need. Every single student on campus has a senior tutor. Again, a holistic view of the student's academic and pastoral needs. So it's not, in the sense, a senior tutor that is only focused on your performance in maths or a particular subject. They're there as your friend, pastoral care, to counsel and to mentor you as well. Academic issues are not the only issues that an international student might have. Getting used to a new country, a new culture, and the way that things are done can be a journey as well. And these tutors are there for this also. Again, single point of contact between parents, guardian, and your agents. And students do feel that this is a very supportive environment because of our structure of these senior tutor systems. And regular meetings. The university applications support is a big part of the plan of why you're coming to the UK to study in this program, the program that you choose that's best for you. And we map out each of the steps that are crucial for your successful application to university, whichever university it might be. Some universities have quite particular steps that are required. They have separate admission tests. They have personal statements and different deadlines, and our team are experts in what those dates and requirements are. That continues to change each year. Some of the universities are adjusting their requirements and looking at proprietary testing as well. And we have the expertise at Oxford Sixth Form and at Nord Anglia in general to ensure that you're not just left to a deadline and told to remember to do something, but that we're actually there for you each step of the way to ensure that the application is made successfully. A quick look at some of the university destinations again. It's really important to note that, yes, a number of the universities here are very famous, top performing universities, but really this is a combination of finding a course that is right for the student, as well as a university that provides the best possible option of that course for the student. And so we're working to match the right course and the right university, not necessarily just the top ranked university because that looks good on paper. We want to know the students' plans. This depends on their personality, their style of learning, their goals and aspirations, and of course the destination that they want to end up. And you can see here we've got different universities from different countries within the UK, as well as different countries around the world. A range of courses that our students have been successful in receiving offers for are listed here. Management and marketing, mathematics and statistics, mechanical engineering, civil engineering, architecture, economics, a range of health-related programs, as well as business and more technical options listed as well. You can see here that essentially our teachers and the team that are supporting students in their application process and in formulating the right subjects for their program at A levels or BTEC is preparing students for a range of different programs. And so we're not boxing you into a set industry or a particular study destination because the cohort or the majority are doing that. This option is up to you, and we give you the advice and support for that as well, alongside your agency. Let's take a look at what some of the students have said. We've got some very bright students listed here that have come to Oxford Sixth Form as part of their own choice, and they've chosen us again for the small class sizes, for the dedicated support that we can give, and the environment itself that allows for flexibility in what they can choose and ensures that they're able to reach the goal that they have. And again, that value add that I mentioned at the beginning, where a student starts and that jump they can make to where they finish is putting us in the top 1% of schools out of over 4,400 schools across the UK. I'll mention Greg because Mark Love, our principal, has mentioned Greg to me a number of times. Greg from Korea. He's now studying natural sciences at the University of Cambridge. Greg had a lot of options. He was a very bright student when he came to us, but he, through his own maturity and his own choice and selection, understood the environment that we offered would allow for him to have a great deal of flexibility and give him essentially the style of learning that would allow for him to really maximize his potential. He was very satisfied with the staff, and he gained a lot of motivation, which, when targeting University of Cambridge, there is a great deal of work to be done to ensure that you have the grades, but you also apply and present yourself in the right way when aiming for a degree like natural sciences. Other students, Eric from China, Mila from Serbia. These students have gone on to study different different types of degrees to what Greg studied and other students. This is history and politics. We've also got civil engineering from Konstantin. And so, again, you can see there's a range of different study options that we're able to satisfy for our cohort. We are based in the UK. It is a global community, and the United Kingdom is very diverse, and a great number of different students from different countries come to the United Kingdom for that very reason. I think one really special part of what you see on campus is that roughly a third are UK nationality. Now, their background may be from different parts of the world, but they consider themselves as a UK national, and they've essentially bringing to international students a local culture, a local cultural experience. It was a really important part of being an international student and coming to the country to learn. You've got a range of other countries as well, from Asia, of course, but also different parts of Europe and the Middle East and so forth. And there's roughly 30 to 35 countries each year that are making up the national mix. A very diverse environment. Student life, we are in the heart of Oxford, a beautiful lane that we're located in here. You can see the building on the left. It is as beautiful as you'd expect. Oxford is a stunning city in the UK. It almost seems like a dream sometimes. The Harry Potter experience that people mention. And we are very close to Oxford University buildings. Much of the city is mixed with the university, which takes up a lot of the space. Shops, restaurants, and cafes very close to the college as well. And there's a lot of green space and parks. Most people you'll see riding bicycles, push bikes, but also easily walking around, and there's a great deal of transport, buses and so forth as well. Some fantastic shots here of our students taking part in various activities, extracurricular activities, supercurricular activities, volunteering, different academic programs. We've got a large number of clubs and activities that people can take part in, not just sport, not just art, but as I mentioned, volunteering. Model United Nations is a really popular one for debate. Ultimate Frisbee is absolutely something that people get involved in and is quite fun as well. Activity and sport is a big part of what we encourage. But also if you're into creative writing and guitar and things like this, we can satisfy that as well. So I really do encourage students to be flexible with their time and get involved in different clubs and activities. This will ensure that you are essentially integrating into the culture and learning about different people from around the world. And that's really a core part of being an international student and something that you should try to maximize as best you can. Beyond the classroom, as Ali mentioned, we're from North Anglia Education. We are a focused school group. Our core business is international schools around the world. And because of our size, we're able to offer students a huge amount of opportunity across the globe. And this includes, to name a couple, expeditions to other countries. We've listed Tanzania and Switzerland here, but there's also a lot of collaboration that goes on between students at our various NAE schools across the globe through what we call our global campus. And this is a really special opportunity to meet even more students throughout different cultures and different backgrounds, depending on what they're interested in. Let's get to the important point of boarding. We are a boarding college, and there's a number of options for boarding, depending on the age and the option that you end up with, that you choose and end up with. The important point to note is that there is supervision and support from the house parents that are based there 24 hours a day. Anything that you need, there is secure access onto these sites, and these house parents are trained and they're dedicated to give you extra support for things that are not academic. This is essentially your life and your home, and they understand that and treat it as such. There is separate accommodation for males and female students. That's an important point. Unlimited Wi-Fi, that's always good. And we do provide the bedding and the pillows and blankets and so forth that you require as well. I'll give you some photos now of the different options. St. Ebbs is about 5 minutes from the college, 5-minute walk. You can see here the different photos of the rooms and the bathrooms and the kitchen areas. We have Penson's Gardens, which is about a 10 or 15-minute walk from the college, also very close to the city centre. Really nice appointed rooms here, modern buildings. And we have Alice House as well, also close, about 10 or 15 minutes, depending on how quickly you walk from the college. And you can see another modern building here with all of the facilities for study, bathroom, kitchenettes, and taking care of yourself. So in summary, there's sort of 3 key points that I'll mention again as to why you would choose Oxford Sixth Form. Really, one key point that I want to make, and I did say, I warned everyone here that I'd make this point a few times, that the class sizes. It is incredibly unique to be joining an international school, let alone a local A-level or sixth form college in the UK that has maximum class sizes of 8 or 10 students across the different programs. This will undoubtedly give you incredible access to teachers and help you feel as though you're getting that personalized individual support. The college itself is roughly 200 students, which again is a small college in the grand scheme of the colleges across the UK, whether they're international or not. And those senior tutors that I mentioned, they are the one contact for you, for your parents, for your agents, to ensure that you're looked after academically, in a pastoral care sense, that you have everything you need and you've got the support that you require. And they're going to check in with you as a mentor, as a counselor, to ensure that you've got what you need and that you are essentially heading in the right direction with your goals and plans. The expertise, it goes without saying, the right teachers for the right programs. We're very serious about ensuring that the different subjects that we offer within the programs, we have experts teaching those with hands-on experience and often industry experience as well. And flexibility. We've talked about a couple of different programs here, the A-level, specifically the 5-term A-level starting in January next year, which means you do not have to wait for September. We mentioned the pre-A-level program as well, which gives you a great deal of English support. You can join that at IELTS 4.5, and you can join any time throughout the academic year. You can join now, you can join in 3 months, you can join in 6 months. We also have a BTEC program, BTEC program, which we'll start offering next September. Well, offer it again for the next September intake. We want to find you, with the help of Ali and the team at Emerging Visions, the right program for you. And that will depend on your academic background, on your English capacity at this point, as well as the timeline that you have and when you're able to start and the resources available to you. And so that flexibility is in finding the program throughout the admission process, but it's also in the subjects that you choose inside that program. And the teachers are very aware that each individual student has different needs. And from a holistic perspective, the goal that each student might have is different as well. So even when you're in a class that is the same as other students, you're all doing maths, each of you might have a different goal. You may have a different degree in mind, and you may have come from a different background and a different curriculum. And the teachers are aware of that. They're not going to teach you just as one group, irrespective of each individual. That brings us to the end of our presentation for Oxford Sixth Form College. You have Carly and myself, Hamish, on the call. We are very eager to answer any questions you might have. I can see the chat is buzzing, and I'm sure that Carly has been answering these as well while we've been speaking. Fantastic to see so many of you asking questions. Ali, I'm able to hand back to you if you like, if you wanted to take over and mention anything. But when you're ready, we can do some Q&A if that's also needed. Thank you very much, everyone who joined, and I look forward to speaking with some of you individually in the very near future. Thanks, Ali.
Thank you very much, Hamish. I have one or two questions. I believe Carly has answered almost all the questions. The first question is about the IELTS. I believe if someone is under 18, he or she shouldn't be taking the IELTS. However, if they're over 18, if you can explain the difference, that would be great, please.
You want me to take this, Hamish? Yeah, so you're right, Ali. Basically, if a student is under 18, then they don't have to take IELTS. They would do our own internal English test, which is a password test. If they are 18 or over, our maximum age is 19, then they would have to take UKVI IELTS. It isn't a college requirement, it's a UKVI requirement.
Perfect, thank you. The second one is about the halal food. There are a lot of students whose parents are concerned about the halal food at the campuses, which you might have mentioned, but I might have skipped it.
Yeah, it's important, Ali. We understand that for our students, particularly from parts of Asia. 2 meals a day are provided at the boarding facility should a student choose to stay at the boarding house. So they would get breakfast and dinner 7 days a week. And there are halal and vegetarian options available. At lunchtime, we don't provide lunch. We used to, but we were asked by the students to stop providing lunch because of our location. They wanted to go into Oxford and buy it themselves. And as I'm sure you're aware, Oxford is a super diverse city, so there's lots of options really close by. Students, if they are over 18, as Hamish mentioned, there is the option to go into the independent residence, that's Alice House. There's no food available there. Students would be considered as a day student, so they would have to either cook their own meals or again, go into Oxford and buy their own food, and there'd be plenty of halal options available.
That is nice. My final question would be about the scholarships. One of the students, I believe she asked about it, but if you can please explain if there is any option of scholarships at the college.
Yeah, so basically we're offering up to 30%, but it does depend on the program they join. So if it's a 2-year program starting in September or a 5-term program, as Hamish mentioned, starting in January, we do have scholarships of up to 30%. Students, as part of the admissions process, would need to do an English test if they're under 18 or show IELTS. If they apply for maths, they have to take a maths test. And the scholarship test would be related to the degree that they wish to study. So, for example, if they're targeting medicine, they'd do a chemistry paper. If they're applying for arts, they would have to complete an arts portfolio, and the scholarship would be awarded based on their performance in the scholarship paper. The other courses, pre-A-level and the 1-year programs, we don't offer scholarships, but we do have something called a Principals Award. So that's usually between 10 to 15%, and that's awarded by Mark, who Hamish mentioned earlier, if he sees potential in that particular student. I would ask if you do have students who are applying for scholarships, or any of you on the call, if you're applying for scholarships, please do tell us at the point of application, because it's very difficult for us to backtrack. So as soon as you apply, let us know that you're interested in the scholarship award so that we can do that for you.
You did mention about the test. Can you just quickly just give us an overview of what the test is all about? I mean, I know it's for the scholarships, but just to give an idea, what percentage of, let's say, English part are they looking at, or the analytical skills, or I mean, whatever is covered in the exam?
For the scholarship, it would be based on their knowledge and understanding of the subject that they're taking. So this is why, for example, we give the scholarship paper, which is relevant to the degree that they're wanting to study. Obviously, we know not all students will have studied at that particular level. It may be that they haven't even studied that subject before, but we're looking for sort of interest and a basic understanding in those subject areas. Students will also be interviewed after the scholarship assessment as well, and their performance in the interview will contribute to that. So Mark likes very, very ambitious, very bright, motivated, driven students. So if you can put yourself across well in the interview, you do have a really good chance of getting at least some scholarship.
That's nice. I think we have answered all the questions. Unless if you want to add anything, I will give my ending remarks at the end. Both of you.
That's great, Ali. No, thanks very much. Really appreciate everyone joining today. Over to you.
Thank you very much, everyone, for attending. And the most important point is there are a lot of options. You just need to discuss the details. From my personal point of view, I believe some students who have low grades and they think that they cannot get into a good university, they can always take help from Oxford Sixth Form College, and the experts, they can definitely guide you into getting into one of the top universities in the UK, definitely. Thank you very much, Carly, and thank you very much, Hamish, for joining us today and giving us a wonderful session. I hope to speak to you soon, and I'll speak to you guys later. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Ali. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.